Hey everybody, it's Ebony Nicole, and I want to thank you guys so much for following my driving Uber in Nashville stories. Today I do not have a funny story to share with you because I don't know if the one I gave the other day was not funny at all. I think it was about racism. But this one, I'm not trying to be mean or anything like that, but I just want people to understand from a perspective of a driver that's not trained in what to do in these type of situations. Uber allows hospitals and doctors' offices and stuff to request rides for their patients. And these particular rides are from, I have two of them that I want to share. That are from patients from the behavioral health center. Don't get me wrong. I know these people need to get home. I get that. I absolutely get that. But what gives me pause is, let me explain these two scenarios and then we can talk about it. Okay, so this was a couple of months ago. I picked up a gentleman. I didn't know where I was going. I got to the person, and when I saw it, I was like, oh, okay, well, okay. He's being released. They're probably okay. It's okay. And so the person gets in the car. He never speaks to me. He rumbles through his bag, and he gets his phone, and he starts calling people and apologizing for hurting them and doing things to them. He's sorry. He was having a breakdown and all this other stuff, and he'll never do it again, and please forgive him. Some people answered, some people wouldn't. He was a little agitated with the people who wouldn't answer the phone. He kept calling, and some people just would not pick up. My only concern was I have no idea what's going on with this dude. He's riding behind me. I don't know with his agitation if he will do anything to me, because he just called all his people and apologized for hurting them. So I felt some type of way about that. And I did get him safely. He didn't do anything to me. He never spoke. He got out the car. He went on about his business. I called some of my other friends that are drivers, and I said, hey, have you ever had a ride from this place? And they said, yeah. I said, how did you feel? They was like, it was different. It was different. I didn't know what to do, or, I just didn't know what to expect, and, whatever. So let me fast track to today. I get a call to the same place, in which I didn't know it was the same place because it was under a different name. It was under the hospital name. And the person gets in the car with me, and he's a talker. He just starts talking about how he was brutalized and victimized by the police, and he had to, fight back and all this other stuff. And his trip was like a 30-minute trip. And as we're riding, he's telling me, oh, I used to be a truck driver, but I can't be one anymore because I'm mentally ill, and I have, 4 or 5 different mentally ill things, and I get violent and all this other stuff. And I said, why would they put you in the car with me? Like, why didn't they have some other transport take you home? Like, I don't know. I said, now I feel some type of way because you're in the car with me. I don't know you. And he goes, well, I was only, doing things when I was a driver. It's like he didn't understand, because he was trying to explain to me that he drove truck or bus, and he would be violent when his bus driving or whatever. I don't know. I was like, I said, I now feel some type of way because you're telling me you have violent outbreaks. How do I know that you won't have one while you're in here with me? I don't feel comfortable anymore. He's like, no, I won't do anything to you. I won't do anything to you. I promise I won't. And so we're driving, and he goes back into his story, and he tells me his story over and over and over about what he did with the police. And then he goes on to say, where are my clothes? I don't know where my clothes are. I left them. And it just made me feel so so awkward because I'm torn between the fact that I know you have to get home, but I'm also wondering, why isn't there some type of medical transport for that people can do this? Or if Uber wants to do this, have a division that is for this, for people that have been trained, that know how to deal with these situations, that know how to talk to these people, if they're, because like this guy was mad in the back seat because what the police did to him. He never did anything to me, but I feel like we're not, I feel like we shouldn't be doing medical transport rides. I just don't feel like we should be doing them. And I'll go ahead and explain another where I went to pick a gentleman up and he was on the floor in his garage. And I said, oh my God, when I finally saw him, I said, can I help you? He goes, oh, I can get up. I'm going to get up. And he got up on his walker. He got to the car. I said, how can I help you? He says, can you just pick my body up for me? And I was like, pick your body up? I said, sir, I don't feel comfortable doing that. I feel like that should be medical transportation. Somebody that maybe has some type of training to do that. I even feel weird telling the story because I don't want nobody to take it wrong. But I just feel like, I don't know. I'm not trying to be discriminatory, but I just feel like maybe there should be a division that does this. Kind of like, I don't know, kind of like Uber's getting ready to do helicopters or something like that. Maybe they can have a division that does this, that is trained to be able to help these individuals and assist them properly. And not what if it's some angry Uber driver who doesn't have patience, or a disabled Uber driver who can't help somebody pick their body up or something. I don't know. I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. What do you guys think?